Where my dogs
What
at?
up?
Where my dogs
Where
at?
my real motherfuckers at?
Arf! Arf!
Where my real motherfuckers
All
at?
right, let's have a moment of silence for all of the
I keeps it real.
all of the
I don't
lost
give a
sperm in the
fuck
world.
how the fuck you feel. Bitch, get your mind right. I'm a bad motherfucker and I rhyme tight. So fuck you
unlovingly disposed of.
and your goddamn crew, baby. Oh, baby.
To all the women it missed.
Yeah, let's have a moment of silence for all the eggs lost too, while on girls' periods.
Much fewer though.
Yes.
But more valuable.
Yeah, because of
Scarcity.
scarcity.
Yep.
Bingo. I think scarcity is a good topic to start with.
So
Okay.
that's scarce in an American society.
Moral values.
Well, beautiful women are more scarce now. Like if you look at the trends of time, like if you look back in like the 60s and 70s, like women, I don't know that they just took better care of themselves back then, but they maybe it's the sugar industry that didn't have such a stranglehold on everything that we ate as much.
Yeah.
You know? That plus.
Well, these days,
No, go.
if a chick just isn't fat, she's like automatically a 10 today, just because you're comparing her to like girls that are super fat.
This is 100% true. I don't think ladies understand this, man. I've had my own mother tell me this. All right, so this girl confessed her love to me, and then I was like, ah. I didn't want to because like she was a land whale, but like I didn't want to tell her that because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I consulted with my mom and with my sister, and actually, John, with your wife, I asked your wife too. Guess what? All three of them said.
Don't worry about it.
Well, don't tell her that it was because she was overweight.
Right.
Because they're more concerned about feelings. So now she's not getting the feedback that she needs. And I don't want to say that to her to be rude. Reality, you know.
But I think there's two ways that she's going to find out this. One, she's going to come to it on her own conclusion, or two, she's going to get told by someone else. So
But someone still has to tell her.
I think the reason why, I think it's this idea of not telling the person and to prevent them from hurting their feelings is because, in a way, like having those hurt feelings makes them have negative effects outside of that. So they're going to come into work lousy. So in a way, it's keeping the morale up.
Come into
of the
work
group.
lousy. Well, Gus. First of all, Gus, how many ladies have told you that they about your unibrow? Do ladies did they ever bring that
Yeah.
up? I'm just curious.
Nah,
Nah.
not really.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Man, they just don't know what your
Once in
feelings.
high school,
Okay.
I was like 10th grade, but that's what 17 years ago.
But women won't tell you how they really feel because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yes.
Because women are more sensitive and emotional.
Exactly. But the
True.
problem is,
Yeah.
that's not a good systematic approach because a system needs feedback. That's how a Segway works. It has feedback. If a Segway didn't have feedback, you'd do that. You'd fucking fall on the ground. And that's what society is doing because women don't do feedback. And so
Feedback,
my
yeah.
mom and my sister.
I think we understand what feedback is.
Right. And my mom and my sister and John's wife all told me not to tell her that is because she's overweight. And I understand, wanting to, at least tiptoe around it and at least, be delicate about the situation. And I understand it's, man's role also to be charming and to be, have etiquette and be a gentleman to ladies, You don't want to be like, oh, you're a land whale. I mean, on the internet, I think it's fine because the internet's like,
You have distance between each other. So.
Well, the internet, I like the internet because it's the
puts a
ultimate
wall.
feedback. It's like it tells
puts
you
a
really.
wall. You don't get to see the person like literally break down in front of you for like destroying their esteem.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, that's a different
here's
effect.
something-
Yeah, you don't have to
You're
see
like,
someone's face
something-
when you say it to them.
Exactly. So, of course, you're gonna just throw anything you want because you don't get the feedback from the other person.
Well, women always want men to change, but God forbid you tell a woman to change.
But I think it's a good idea to like consider the feelings of a person in certain senses, because, like I said, in a group, if one person's depressed, it's gonna affect the group. So keeping your circle, your team, with all good morale and positivity, you're gonna be better functioning. So.
Yeah, I mean, but like, if one of your friends is like smoking too much weed and like working at McDonald's, you gotta tell them like, yo, you're fucking up.
Yeah, but I guess it's more with looks is different than like what you're doing, because like for women, like looks
with
is
the whole fat thing,
like
like
hit them in their core.
You ever heard of the other than Me Too, which is a very touchy subject that we will not touch on again. There's another subject called another movement called Healthy at Every Size that's big right now.
Yeah.
Well,
women are healthy at every size.
I think that they are just built. Their bones are just shaped that way, and there's nothing they can do about it.
I can't tell if you're trolling, Gus. Are you?
I mean, of course, there's a.
I'm just big boned.
I have seen it. Like, there is no way that women could be any other shape. And I know some of these people.
Yeah, but when you look at the statistics and you see that that 2/3 of Americans are overweight, and like, and then a third of, and 1/3 of Americans are obese. 1/3, 33% of Americans are fucking obese, like life-threatening. Like, obesity is a life-threatening condition. It's not just something that's like a fucking, like okay thing, okay in all sizes, okay, like yada yada. And I know what you're talking about, like the big bones, like kind of a big rib cage. Actually, I would notice today I've been losing a little bit of weight because I've been, trying to be more responsible and shit. And I noticed that my rib cage actually kind of juts out a little bit more. And I've seen women that have like rib cages kind of like that too. But at the same time, like, they still can look skinny because they could still, not have a gut.
Right. Yeah. There is a limit where that's just excessive fat. It's not your body.
And
at
another
that point.
thing too, like, I think because I've been overeating and everything for the past like probably decade of my life, that I think that actually changed some of my bone structure, and I think that and it changes your skin. When people, I don't know if people who look at like weight loss, extraordinary weight loss stories, when you see like, I dropped 150 pounds, it's like, bravo. But then when you look at them with no shirt on, it's like, and I'm not saying that to be because it's like it's
like a deflated balloon.
It's admirable and it's impressive, but you're doing permanent damage. Like, I think that another thing that women might not realize when they're in like middle school and they're gaining weight, maybe is like how irreversible and irreparable some of the damage that is on your body. It might make your bones further apart. It might make your skin, stretched out. It might do these things.
One of the ways that actually happens is this article I read where when you start gaining weight, your body actually produces more fat cells. So you gain more cells. But when you lose the weight, the fat cells don't go away. They just lose the fat. They keep the cell, but the fat's gone. That's why you just have this excessive. So, and it makes it even easier for you to get fat again because it's ready to go receive that fat they were expecting on the reservoir. It's like having a gas tank in your car, and you overfill it, and it expands to like bigger than your trunk, and then you empty it, and it kind of deflates. So, but hey, I have the capacity to do, double my fuel size. So.
Dude, the human body and the way that some of its systems work is like the same thing with your metabolism. Actually, like if you stop eating, like your body then stores more fat because like your body's like, oh shit, I need to store more energy and stuff. So like your body will like work against like your efforts. Like, no, I'm trying to lose weight, god damn it. And it's like your body's like, nope. And then like it's really, everything is a matter of self-control. It is a lot about what you eat. Calories in versus calories out. I'm not
exercise.
A dietitian though. Yeah. And yeah, you're
How much exercise?
You're the preacher of exercise. I'm the preacher of diet. I think this guy in my building, like, he's like just shredded. He said that he used to bodybuild. I was like, dude, but you don't work out anymore. Like, I mean, you're clearly like ripped here. And then he's like, no, I just watch what I eat. And I see him when he cooks, like he just cooks like good food all the time, like healthy looking. So he went to the farmer's market today. He's the Bitcoin guy.
Nice.
He's a Bitcoin guy. I should bring him on the next podcast. Oh, I bought $2,000 in Bitcoin today.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
The price is down, right?
That's at eight grand right now.
I mean,
it's down
I'll
from
give it
16.
8 years until the quantum computers break it. But I want to
Quantum
hit on
computers
something.
break it?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
You think so?
How do they break it?
What is the progress of these quantum computers anyway? How much money have they thrown into this project, and what has actually become of it? Huh?
I'm not
Is this
sure,
one of those
but
things that you're not allowed to talk about?
probably.
Well, they had they had something like 16 qubits on a computer, and it's supposed to help with decryption. But the blockchain, you know, the issue isn't the decryption. It is the network itself. You have to actually have more nodes on the network. So it's really just like raw computing power. There's the only way that you can crack the blockchain. And at this point, there's like, I don't know numbers, but I'm sure it's distributed across the entire world. It's got to be the most secure thing on the entire planet, honestly. More secure than any bank. And we use that for...
blockchain's very complicated subject. I don't know nearly as much
It's
to
more
talk
complicated. The thing is, it's more complicated than bank software, and we use banks for like billion-dollar transactions. So if you think that Bitcoin is just gonna get hacked, first of all, by who? Like, who's gonna have a quantum computer? The Chinese?
Yeah, they're not going to care about any U.S. regulation or anything. Something that's unregulated and worldwide, it's an easy target with a good quantum computer.
With a good but the thing is, like, I don't see how the quantum computer would actually crack anything, because it's not an encryption algorithm that makes it secure. It's the distribution that makes it secure. Anyway, that's why yeah.
There's a subject I wanted to hit regarding the last thing we were talking about like how women in the U.S. are generally more overweight than they were in the past.
Yes.
And I read the study, incredible study done, where what they did was, so they had these mice in a cage, and they put electrodes onto the floor of the cage to shock mice. And so they had a male and a female, a single mating pair, and what they did is they released this orange scent into the cage and then electrocuted at the same time. And then the rats knew, mice, they knew every time the smell came, they were going to get electrocuted.
Pavlov's law.
Exactly. So even if they spray the orange scent, the mice would panic because they're like, oh, shock coming.
Of course.
So they stopped the shock therapy, bred the mice together.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this.
The children.
Yeah.
The children are
mice.
still scared of the orange scent.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm thinking
that's
that
holy shit. That's a mind-blowing
exactly.
thing.
So generations
That's
of people
shit.
in the U.S. are giving these traits to their offspring.
How do
like
they explain
overweight.
that? How do they explain that anyway? Does it
DNA? It's all.
But yeah, but your DNA is constant over your lifetime, isn't it?
But the thing is, they're saying like what's past is what was adapted.
I
So,
feel
like-
like they cheated in this study.
Because remember, our sex cells, they aren't like our cells. They're only combinations of our cells.
No,
So
what?
that's like our sex cells are just combinations. Like I think the random combinations of our cell. That's why all your brothers and sisters look different than you.
Right, yeah, they're like
So-
26 chromosomes or something, and then like randomly about 50% of them come from the egg, and then randomly 50% of the chromosomes come from the sperm, and then they merge to.
There's 46 chromosomes, and 23 come from the egg, and 23 come from the sperm.
Right, and then like and then you have 46. You're right. And then there's some variation there, and some of the variation is where we get the mutation and the evolution. But I'm trying to figure out how the orange
I know.
scent plays into that. Dude, there's
Some receptor in the nose that understands what orange smell is.
Dude, there's clearly stuff that we don't understand about DNA. I think, DNA is actually information technology, I would say. And unlocking the secrets of DNA probably would unlock, living forever. Not just ending cancer.
Oh yeah.
Not just solving all of our problems, but letting us live forever. Which, might also turn into one of those like Twilight Zone kind of scenario situations.
Oh yeah.
And we're not aware of.
Well, the reason
actually
is they run out of DNA. Their DNA can't replicate itself anymore.
You get to live forever, but now you have dicks growing out of your foreheads. There's some weird shit like that. I don't know. Some sort of disregard that. Anyway. So.
Well, there is the immortal jellyfish. You ever heard of that one? So there's this jellyfish that
Well, the same thing with
essentially lives forever.
Right. The same thing with.
And they're trying to use the DNA and like put it in with mice so they can live forever.
Well, what about naked mole rats? Don't naked mole rats live forever?
I never heard of that. I know. I've heard something about naked mole rats. I don't remember what it was. They don't age or something.
Oh wait, I think they don't get cancer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Let's just look at cancer. Naked mole rats, cancer. Secret to staying cancer free. Yeah, naked mole rats, they don't get cancer. That's what it was.
Oh, something else that's interesting. They link all humanity, all mammals, to one shrew, a mole, that buried underground. Like all of the mammals
fuck
today.
out, dude.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like there's
That's
some
like
evolutionary
the story
trait.
of like Noah's Ark a little bit. Because like Noah's Ark, like you think like,
Yeah.
oh, well, they were really inbred for a little while there. Wait, one mole rat? Does there have to be two?
No, or one species.
Huh?
One
Oh.
species.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right. So maybe it has something to do with not being able to get cancer, and that's why like the mammal gene kind of survived so long and so well in whatever terrible conditions that like killed everything off except for the little mole shrew.
What if
That's
what
where
if,
you go with this.
dude, what if the meteor that crashed into Earth was not what wiped out the dinosaurs? What if it was cancer?
Yeah, or some say it was a gamma ray burst. You ever heard of that?
No, I haven't.
So when a star goes supernova, it explodes and releases a tremendous amount of gamma rays.
Which could cause
And then
cancer.
the entire galaxy gets engulfed in it. Exactly. You pretty much get nuked, essentially.
You
So they're saying, like-
randomize all the information structures that evolution put all nicely in a row.
Exactly. And that they say, like, because the naked mole rat was underground, it didn't get hit so hard. And that's why it, like, survived. And all the stuff on the bottom of the ocean,
Damn.
like, yeah. So a
Pretty
big radiation wave from space to zap
hope-
everything.
I hope they come up with more evidence about that. And like the whole meteor hitting Earth thing, like I know that can mess up the atmosphere, yada yada yada. I just don't. It's hard for me to buy that, man. Like
It's because there was a tremendous amount of like volcanic activity in the it's called stratigraphy, where they it's the study of the layers of the rock.
I know what
And at one point-
stratigraphy is, Gus. You don't have to. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
So they say there's a layer, like I don't know,
Like Shrek. Onions have
200
layers.
million years ago, where it's all like ash, like a thick line of ash, and it's all across the world. So they're like, did a meteor hit?
Oh,
Looks
okay.
like there's some space rock in it.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Sure. So going back also to let's go back to the concept of responsibility, dude.
I thought you were gonna say scarcity.
Oh yeah, we got to get back to scarcity too. But hold on, before we get to maybe should we do scarcity first? No,
Yeah, I think that's a whole theme of the podcast.
I think let's get back to scarcity in a minute. I came up with
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I came up with this fucking idea like earlier today when I was thinking to myself, causality. So there's this thing called time, and time is a really perplexing concept. It always goes in one direction. It never stops. It always just keeps going along. Going different speeds, speed it up or slow it down, which I don't really even understand myself, even though I had to take exams on it in college.
Perception. Yeah, your perception
No,
dictates your
relativity.
speed of time.
Oh, is it yeah,
that's what you're
relativity.
saying.
Yeah, when you go, it's like the time dilation is what it's called.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not get too deep down that rabbit hole. But causality is a really practical thing that happens. Basically, it is that everything has a cause. Like something caused, us to be here at this moment. Something.
Right.
Like an electronic system, and that's how we diagnose electronic systems or computers. Computers are very causal. We know it's a digital causality, which is very easy to debug. Basically, that's why computers are so powerful these days. But anyway, I think that there's a causality for responsibility. Like basically, for every freedom that you have, for every freedom you have it because there was some responsibility that happened. Now the thing is about that, I think that in today's world, it's a non-chronological causality. So the responsibility can come after the freedom. You could blow all your money, or you can blow a bunch of credit cards on a big cruise somewhere and go to Tahiti and have sex with a bunch of strippers, and you blow a bunch of money, and then you come back. Now you got that debt. So eventually, that's going to be paid for by you or someone, or so there's a responsibility that had to be there, and I guess the responsibility was really taken on by someone else, and they're giving that responsibility to you because we're saying because our economic system is about fairness and about like if you owe me $500, you better pay me $500. Of course, we've added interest to it nowadays, but at the end.
So, what caused the credit cards to come into the person without the finances?
Well,
what caused the credit cards to emerge?
I mean, that's the causality that I'm talking about is like a new cause. It's not. It's like a new concept. It's not necessarily like the causality, like cause and effect causality. Is in time, like because there's a time causality. Time causality is like every everything had some sort of cause to it, but
people aren't looking forward though. I think it's a good. I think that's what you're trying to portray. It's like people aren't looking at the causality of what's coming in the future, and therefore they're pretty much heading into a dead end.
Right. It's like the cause is coming after the effect, So the effect was we were able to have 10 years of war with these Middle Eastern countries. The cause of that is our children are going to be in debt in the future. That's really the cause. The responsibility cause. There has to be. So there has to.
It's not our fault.
Well, I'm not saying that our kids are the ones to blame for it, but they're going to be the ones taking the responsibility. It's a responsibility causality. It's like basically you cannot have a freedom without at least that much responsibility that gave you that freedom. Whether that responsibility came before, or whether it came after, or whether it happened during, you always
responsibility for what?
For the freedom that you have. Every freedom comes with a responsibility. That's the thing that I want to if you have a balance.
Responsibility of the freedom.
Yes.
What does that entail?
So the freedom to go out and buy a car. You buy a car, but you're getting a loan for that. So you're eventually going to have to pay that back. Or let's say your freedom of.
So the responsibility to use the freedom wisely.
No, so I mean, like, literally, like, the freedom does not exist without the responsibility. Just like an event in time does not exist without the cause that caused that event in time. So literally, like, it is a completely, it's like a magnet. You cannot have a North Pole without a South Pole. It's a bipolar thing, and it's always bipolar. You can never have a South Pole without a North Pole. That's a crazy thing about magnets. I don't know if people realize. And no matter how much you slice a magnet in half, you'll never have just a North Pole. So similarly, you'll never have just freedom. You always have to be responsible. Like if you want to, be free to, like, lazy, just sit around on the beach all day, eventually the responsibility to feed yourself comes into play.
Okay.
And I'm making the point that literally freedom does not exist without responsibility. It mathematically does not exist. I believe that there's, like, you could actually create a whole field of mathematics about responsibility and freedom. And that would be really cool, actually.
John, you have anything to say?
That seems like more of like a social studies subject.
Well, it's kind of quantifying a social studies subject.
Maybe we could make like a formula to explain it.
I just did. Responsibility, like, freedom equals responsibility plus
Time.
no, not plus time. Time's not a factor. Remember, because the responsibility can come after. And another thing is your freedom could affect someone else's responsibility. Say your freedom was to the freedom you took was to smash out the windows of a Burger King. Someone's going to be responsible for cleaning that up. And it might not be you, but it's the responsibility is still there. That responsibility doesn't go away. It's there. That, or you just destroyed someone's, like, window. So, like, now they don't, like, that responsibility that they took to build the window has been negated by your freedom to destroy it. Our freedoms to maybe, like, I don't know. What about freedom of speech? Could it tie into
So
that?
how do we build the responsibility so we can get more freedom?
Well, that's the thing, man. I think that, we build responsibility and we let the freedom, just occur. The freedom should just, envelop us.
That's what retiring is all about. You're responsible your whole life. You saved a bunch of money. So that responsibility gave you the freedom to retire. Or say, for example, say like children with, like, a really rich parents, they're free to do whatever the fuck they want because their parents were responsible enough to make enough money to pave their way to have that freedom.
So do you think the freedom will breed the responsibility naturally?
I think responsibility will naturally breed the freedom, not the other way around.
Right. Bingo. Yeah, freedom does not breed responsibility. Freedom does not breed responsibility.
If you're just free all the time, you'll be dead on Skid Row with a needle in your arm from doing heroin.
Bingo.
So you think the problem in the U.S. is that people are given too much freedom and they're now not taking responsibility for it?
Well, if you look at our debt, I mean, depends on the definition of freedom and responsibility. We're being pretty loose with our definitions here, so I would say if you consider freedom to spend money,
right,
then that's a very big problem that we've had such freedom given to us by these banks that know that they're gonna claim their responsibility plus interest. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, interesting. It's an interesting subject there. So,
and it kind of messes things up, like with time causality. It's not, it's not that having credit is a bad thing. Like if you're smart, if you can plan and think ahead, if you can use that prefrontal cortex years that got evolved over time to to figure out like your next steps and like how you're gonna use like this credit that you're like leveraging your life. Like, you know, like you're like on a seesaw. Here's the fulcrum, and like, you know, you put like you're basically on the line for like all this money over here, but all you needed was like this much to get into the game. And like now, like you owe this much, but it's okay because you got like this much in return because you got a house or whatever. So now you're playing with way bigger chip stacks, but you've also got like this thing, and this thing is like growing in debt because it's got interest that's associated with it. It's tricky, man.
Yeah, it sure is. And a lot of people are not going to reach that. You know, they're going to have debt for the rest of their life.
40-year mortgage.
And what do the banks do about that? What do they come after their kids? Or what do they make interest rates more?
They just want the minimum payment, I guess. It's like, all right, you owe us forever, but at least pay a little bit.
Yeah, but if they never get paid back, I don't see how that benefits them. I think all this credit card explosion.
They get the stuff back. They get the property. They get their.
They're playing a different. They're playing literally a different game than us. They're literally playing a different game than us because we're playing the game. We want more money, so we can have more freedom. They're playing the game. We need to enslave these people because we will get more freedom if they are enslaved and they are taking care of all the responsibilities for us. So that's the game that they're playing. It's the same mathematics though. It's the same causality of freedom and responsibility. That shit never left the picture. It's just that they play a little bit different rules because to them, actually, if you look at our rules of being like, oh, more money is better, then it makes no sense that they're giving, you know, subprime mortgages. It makes no sense that they're, you know, loaning these people that they know are never going to be able to pay it off. That's not their angle. Their angle is to take people's freedoms away. I mean, maybe not intentionally, like, you know, and if the people don't lose their freedom, they still get money, so it's a win-win for them. It's a fucked up situation. You know, there has to be either strong regulation around interest or just completely outlaw interest, man. I think they should outlaw interest.
If you had a chance to be a banker, would you?
Fuck no, I wouldn't because I value my soul. That's something I don't think these people do. I don't think these people value their souls.
I mean, if there's no evident repercussions.
I mean, society going
matter?
to shit. People being miserable. That's not a repercussion for them. It's not their problem, I guess.
I mean, at least we're not a third world country, but I'm not completely defending bankers.
How are we not a third world country?
I guess it's relative, right? Because in the future, what we have now, it's third world.
But how many people are slaving away, and like how many people are just like complete retards? I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, you know, like
and
now
that's
women and men
relative,
have
too.
to work together in the workplace. You know, it used to be only a man had to have a job and you could feed a whole family from one salary.
Working in a factory.
People don't really like I know that's like a repeated kind of mantra from like conservatives, but like liberals, listen to me. You only needed one salary back then.
Now you need two, and it's still not enough.
That's still not enough. Like, and I don't think that liberals like, you know, want that, but they don't realize, you know, the actual systematic way that things work, economics.
It's not just
systems.
that things were cheaper back in the day. Things were a lot cheaper.
Also, did you hear about Iran, where they're starting to allow women to work, and now their economy is like growing by 25% since they started allowing women to work. Like their economic output has tremendously increased since they started letting women work. But the take back from that is that the family starts to suffer. The traditional family, like we've been talking about, that system now it's degrading, and now we're going to get in Iran, they're going to have generations of kids that are not going to have that good family values.
This is the thing that we should be voting on. The thing that we should be voting on is between whether we want to live like worker bees or whether we want to live like, you know, the happy island life, you know, lazy, you know, kind of fucking laid back life. You know, those are two very distinct lifestyles. There's not a problem with either one of them. But yet you still have people that want to be over here, you have people that want to be over here, and you have people that want to be everywhere in between. And you should be able to move to a state. You should be able to move to a state that's a lazy state. If you want to be a lazy person, you should be able to move to a state that's a busy worker bee state. If you want to be a busy worker, you know, you should be able to choose that, because that's not, there's no absolute about either of those. You know, there's no moral implication to either of them. There's no,
Well,
you could choose
what
either.
about?
Well, some people go to a certain career because, not necessarily because of the salary, because of the lifestyle that career offers.
Or move to a certain
True.
state. Like, I think a lot of people in Hawaii are island lifestylers, man. Like, you look around here, dude. Like, you know, it's not a very busy bee colony over here, man.
It's not, because we have a tourist economy here. We're just built on services for others. But here's the problem with I don't think it's true when you say there's no difference in morality between a worker bee and a you know, kind of lazy tropical lifestyle. The thing is, when there's the stake of, you know, your superiority towards another group and you have to vie for resources, I think it's more important to be busy working on towards making your stance strong enough to defend your resources.
Well, I think
that's a major reason why the U.S. has this powerhouse economy and everyone's working their tail off constantly.
Well, I think it goes back to the the responsibility causality equation. It's like people who are living, you know, the island man lifestyle, you know, they have this much responsibility, so they can only have this much freedom. You know, wherever you place the freedom, you know, to do whatever it is that they want to do, you know, they can only have this much freedom.
Is capital.
But if you take this much responsibility because you're a worker bee, so you have this much responsibility, that should yield you this much freedom. So you should have more freedom the more you are responsible.
I think that freedom sounds like capital. I think that freedom you're talking about.
Well, let's say you work. I feel like free time is truly what freedom is. And what if you just work all the time and you don't have free time? You don't have freedom.
Well, you can't spend your money if you're working all the time, right?
The thing is, it's not. It's
your kids
right.
might spend it. Your spouse might spend it.
There you go.
And Gus, it's not just about capital. It's really not.
Well, I think it makes a huge difference.
Capital,
like
capital
power
creates,
to do stuff. Bam, cash.
Well, capital creates.
How can you do?
Capital kind of creates almost an interest-like situation, and but I think that is reasonably okay. The way that I see it is is that if we actually got rid of interest rates, you would actually have natural feedback loop systems. Natural economic feedback loop systems would work something like this. Someone would be, you know, living the island life, man, and they only got like this much freedom. And they're like, well, shit, I want to have this much freedom, you know? And so they'll naturally work harder. But guess what? When they do that, their time goes down because they only have this much. You only have this much. And they're like, you know, if they're working this much, they want more freedom, so they work this much. Okay, but now they're like, well, my time just went down, but I want to have more free time. So they go back down there, and they're like, okay, well, I can deal with the less freedom there. But, like, you know, maybe some people come up here, and they're like, I don't have very much free time here because my free time is only this big now. But look at all the freedom that I have for all this other shit. It should be your decision to choose between where you want to be on this line, where you have your free time versus your freedom of money. You know, your economic freedom versus your...
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know?
Well,
and those feedback loops don't happen.
Time is a very finite resource. Let's say I have one friend to hang out over here, and then I have another friend to hang out over there, and their houses are in opposite directions. I don't have enough time to hang out with both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or if I had something going on tonight, I wouldn't have time
right.
for the Skype call.
Right.
So it's like time is the most finite resource of all.
Scheduling.
Speaking of scarce.
Yeah.
I fucking hate scheduling, dude.
That's a good point.
I'm bad at planning and scheduling, dude. That's why I need a woman in my life, man. Women are are good at planning and scheduling.
Siri, please schedule me for 2:00 tomorrow.
Nah, man, not even like that, dude.
No,
That's your
honestly,
woman, Matt.
you're gonna
That's
feel
your
like
woman.
you have so much less time, like if you had a woman. Because before, I was able to like stay up like infinitely late and go wherever, and I felt like I had so much time. Now with like Jay and Michelle around, I feel like time is a lot more scarce because I'm in debt with them. I just spend time with them. So it's like if Michelle wants to like watch a movie, 2 hours gone. 2 hours gone right there.
Just gone. Just fucking throw those out. There, you'll never get them back.
Oh, we were talking about I don't want to get too much into women degeneracy and like shows and how that promotes women being degenerate. But there was one show I kind of wanted to talk about that I've been watching with Michelle that kind of promotes the degeneracy a little bit.
Is it The View?
It's called Jane the Virgin. It was big like a few years ago.
I was thinking
Alright,
Sex
so
and the
the
City.
In the beginning of the show, she goes for a pap smear test to test for cervical cancer or whatever. But the gynecologist was drunk, so she gets confused. So she gets artificially inseminated with the wrong man's sperm, right? So the first season is all about, she has a boyfriend at the time, but she's like a virgin because she's saving herself for marriage. And like, so she falls in love with the sperm donor. So like, she breaks up with the other guy, but then she's not sure, and then they go back and forth.
When you say the sperm
Anyway.
donor, do you mean the drunken gynecologist?
No.
No,
The drunken
I think-
gynecologist's brother is her boss at the hotel, and he donated his sperm to his wife at the time, who was cheating on him. Anyway, in the first season, she almost decides to be with the biological father because she kind of used to know him in real life and shit. But then in the second season, she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be with you. So it shows her like being a single mom and like dating all kinds of different guys and like, oh, it's so much more exciting to date all these guys than to just like be with the biological father, which is kind of where I see like the shows promoting kind of like, they could have just ended it the first season, like she picks one guy or the other and she raises the kid, first season's done, show's over with. But no, they gotta put second season like, oh, single moms dating, it's so fun.
Did
I mean, it's really promoting like bad values. Like, it's kind of telling the viewers like, hey, you don't need, just because you have a kid doesn't mean you need to stick with one man. You can still party.
at any point did they mention how bad it is not to have a male father figure and constantly with the
Probably not.
child?
No, they kind of do because even
Well,
though
good,
she's
good.
doing all that shit, the biological father guy is still like so perfect and like there for the baby all the time, and like he'll like spend the night with the baby, and he'll babysit so she can go out to the club and like go on dates and shit.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know what
such
message that sends, though, man.
Cuckold.
Like,
That's exactly what that is.
sometimes, like,
Cuckold.
yeah,
Well, no, they kind of put him as a pimp too, because the original wife that was cheating on him, there was a second sperm sample she found. So then the original wife artificially inseminates herself too in season 2. So then he's having kids with 2 chicks. So like he kind of feels like a baller now, I guess.
but he never had sex with anyone.
Right.
What's this world going to? It's funny. I
It's a
was
fucked
watching.
up show. I feel like all these shows these chicks watch are kind of fucked up. The shows men watch are fucked up too. I mean, you know, James Bond. He's not monogamous.
But he doesn't have kids.
I guess your responsibilities are different depending on your position in life.
I think you know it's more valuable to have a key that opens every door than a door that gets opened by every key.
Right.
A master key, right? The skeleton key.
Well, you know, because the door is what's
with
important.
this
You know,
rarity-
it's
This rarity of a
it's a double standard for a fucking reason. You know, women are more valued in society because they are more scarce. So we want to go back to the scarcity topic. Women are scarce. Well, their fertility is more scarce, you know? They can only, you know, pop out one baby. I mean, first of all, one every 9 months. Second of all, they can only, you know, they're only fertile during, like, in a window during the month.
Exactly.
You know?
That's super scary.
So, like...
Going back to the
All right.
scarcity of skinny
Like my
women,
ears.
a skinny woman these days is so rare, she can basically have herself a harem of men because the skinny woman is so rare.
She basically have
as soon
fucking
as she has a
concubines.
kid, as soon as she has a kid, the men will.
Nah, one of Michelle's best friends, she has 2 kids, and she still, like, has sex with a bunch of guys, like, as she pleases. No strings attached.
I guess it's so scarce that even the pregnant women are getting, or
They
the
just have to be a little
other-
skinny, a little fit, and, like, they don't even need a good face, and they're like a 10, just because they're not fat.
Yep.
I was watching this podcast, Owen Benjamin, and one of the things he mentioned is that, like, before he got married and had a kid, he had a bunch of girlfriends, you know, and he said it's like, oh, it's awesome, yeah, it's like a brand new relationship, you know, it's exciting, you know, new girl, you can sleep with her, and it's like, ooh, thrilling. But he said, like, as soon as he settled down with a woman, he said it's 10 times better than having, like, short relationships. He said, like, having a long-term relationship with his wife was, like, so beneficial that he couldn't even fathom how he would know this before he got married. He's
It's
like,
something where
I
you can
couldn't even
grow.
conceive how good it
You
could be.
can grow with that. You don't grow when you're fucking going from one to the next. You're fucking
Exactly.
you're reintroducing yourselves. You're starting from ground zero every single time. It's like
And I think a lot of media is just pushing that out. Like, yeah, be you know,
polygamous.
polygamous, you know, monogamous
Being
is
single.
old fashioned. It's bad. And it's like, it's 10 times better. You can't even comprehend it.
Ah.
That's how.
They say the
Being
same thing. They
single
say the
gives you
same
the
thing about.
freedom.
They say the same thing about staying a virgin until you get married too. By the way.
Yeah, I've heard
Like-
about that. Like, how much more special it is when you meet that right
And
person.
you only have it with one person. It's like it's like everything then. You know, like
Exactly.
it's an intimate bond between you and that other person that nobody else shares but you two. You know. We don't have
Yep.
that in society anymore. That fucking left a long time ago. So.
Well,
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
you lose
that's
the
an
freedom, but I was, like, on that depressed shit when I was single, so, like, I think I'm a lot happier, like, being in the relationship, I think.
Yeah, I imagine, because you know, every
'Cause
day
I
you learn a little more about your wife, and your bonding grows.
I think men
Well, it's
need
like,
women and women need
and I
men.
get to see them grow up, you know, I get to see my son grow up and, like, get older and get big and stuff.
I get way too systematic when I don't have a woman around. Man, look at all this shit, dude. I fucking build like a goddamn like fucking aquarium system over here. Dude,
Like, if you're married, your wife would have never allowed you to do that.
no, hell no. She'd like put the fucking screwdriver down and screw me instead. And I'd be like, done deal. You know, say no more. You know. I don't know. I have this idea in my head about what like my perfect relationship would be though too, and I. Any ladies listening who are attracted by my suave handsomeness, take heed here for a moment. I want a woman who can plan events because I suck at planning events. I want someone who can like go into Facebook events. Facebook events is the best place to find events. There's really good shit in there. It's like a gold mine. I want a woman who I'm not gonna fucking screw it, dude. Whatever. I'm not gonna turn this into that.
If a woman would make me hot coffee every morning, she has my heart.
This
Dude,
one girl
coffee-
made me poached
coffee's
eggs the next
easy to
morning.
make.
That was fucking dope. That was a funny story though. That whole relationship with that girl, man. Like the first night, dude. Like apparently I blew her mind. She just like couldn't stop asking me why I didn't have a girlfriend. And then, like, you know, she made me poached eggs the next morning. Then I just started fucking it up from there. Like, every fucking I just did some stupid. I was like, let's play tennis. And then, like, I look up, like, I download an app that finds where all the tennis courts are. And I go to this tennis court. It's, like, in the ghetto. There's no lights. And we're just
Was
like.
this in Florida?
Huh? This is in Fort Lauderdale, yeah. And the way that the whole thing. Well, one of the ways that it ended, basically, was I went to. I ate a bunch of really spicy food. You know how I like eating hot sauce on like everything.
Oh.
And then I went to go eat her out. So she had to jump into my houseboat shower, which is like this wide by this wide, and she's like, you know, trying to like shower her vagina off. And then that was the one who I told her that she I called her Chewbacca because she said that she was not shave her legs. And then she responded to me. She called me racist, sexist, bigoted, misogynist. She threw all these words at me, and then she said that I had no depth. I was like, holy shit, dude, this came from like almost like nothing. And actually, that was after like not talking to her for like a week. That was fucking crazy, dude. And after that,
Well, a relationship is a compromise. I mean, she's probably putting up with, you know, a lot of your shit, and you're putting up with hers.
It's a
no,
balancing
what happened?
act.
She told me that she was staying home because she didn't feel good, and I called her later after she'd already been drinking a little bit with some other guy, and she was like, "Oh, I came out to hang out." So I was going on a bike ride. I remember I was on my bike with like, you know, 15 other guys, and like we were sitting there, like right before I go on the bike ride, I'm calling her to like, because I'm talking to the other guys because we all know each other. It's in the biking community. I'm like, dude, I don't know what's going on with this girl. Is like
She's a community bike.
yeah, and then like I don't know what you mean by that, but
Oh,
Bikers.
the girl-
Everyone gets a ride.
huh? Oh well,
In the community bike, everyone gets a ride. Gets to ride it.
the community of bikes, bikers.
Oh.
Anyway, so I say just like, you know, like what are you up to? You know, are you feeling better? And she's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just having a fucking couple drinks right now. And I was like, oh yeah. And then she told me she was with some guy. I think she was like already drunk enough to like not realize that she was telling me that she was with, and we were like, we had a relationship for like, it was only like a month at that, or only like a few weeks, honestly. Whatever. But she said that she didn't want to hang out. They didn't want to hang out. Maybe the problem in that case is me, because like, you know, there's like
A red flag there.
no,
kinda
I think
like,
I think
oh,
there's just
time to break
so
it
many
off.
options for them, dude. There's just so many options that, like, you know, why stay with me when they could be with, you know, like, you know, 18 other guys.
Sounds like
that
she's
are-
pretty hot. Was she pretty hot?
Oh yeah. She was fucking.
Okay,
she was
she's
she was the
one of those-
bartender actually at the bike bar, and like every dude wanted to be with her.
Well, Matt, I mean, maybe chicks like that, you have to be like Adonis, you know, number 10, alpha male, in order to like keep her.
You just have to give her don't give her reasons to like fire you.
I don't know,
From a
man. I think
relationship.
it's a constantly it's like a constantly sinking boat. With a 10, your boat is constantly sinking because you got guys like throwing in requests, constantly. Like
Yeah, I imagine.
And it's a tightrope walk. It's a tightrope walk too, because if you say one wrong thing, you fell off the rope, and then you can't get back on the rope.
dudes used to like give her free shit. I'm like sitting here like with my ego over here trying to be like ha ha ha, yeah, these guys are fucking stupid. Hell yeah, they gave you a mirror. Let's well, like, what a dumbass. We'll fucking take whatever they got, you know. And then she's like, yeah, some guy gave me some flowers today. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, dudes are like giving her. Maybe the point is, maybe you need to just get super ripped. Maybe that's, you see hot chicks with super ripped guys, you know. Like, it's gonna deter. It's gonna deter.
Guys,
Or maybe it was your intention in the whole relationship. Maybe it was something to do with your ego. Like, there's this challenge that all these men around you are trying to achieve, and you're gonna
there was no
be
way.
number one.
No, guys. It's about
It's like a
economics,
natural
Gus,
thing.
dude. Dude,
I
believe
think
me,
it's
I'm very
like,
self-aware.
oh.
I'm very self-aware. I'm able to analyze myself and my situation, dude. Like, let's not, point any fingers at me right now, okay? Like, I'm perfect, all right? Let's not, do all that.
Problem solved.
Obviously, I'm joking. I know that, I'm not perfect. But
I find myself in those situations. Well,
the thing is, man, is really hot chicks. They have, unlimited options. And then, the media tells them that unlimited options are exciting. Say it again?
what's that, John?
At least you got to hit it at least once.
Yeah, and then fucking spice up her twat a little bit with some fucking Tabasco. Accidentally.
I bet she's gonna remember that for the rest of her life.
Oh, dude. And that was, it was. I was like, so you still wanna like after it?
Oh, imagine telling her.
She was
kids,
like,
the story.
no.
Like, yeah, I knew your mom. Yeah.
She's not gonna have kids. She's a modern woman. Come on, Gus.
Right? Yeah.
Birth control.
Yeah. Got those
Come the
tubes,
fuck on, Gus.
got those tubes tied a long time.
Come the fuck.
Oh gosh. Thanks, America. Thanks, liberal media.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Thanks,
woman.
Bob.
Not gonna have a decent family with.
Maybe we should just like use this podcast to tell stories why we hate the liberal media, like stories from our lives that have caused me to become conservative. Like, because there's no first of all, I'm a pretty chaotic person. I'm a pretty fucking chaotic person. Like, I'm not very orderly according to some of my life decisions. Like, you look through my life and you look at some of the I fucking moved onto a houseboat. That shit is like a rust bucket. That's a disaster waiting to happen. I live on the fucking edge. I just moved to Hawaii. I just fucking said, fuck it. I got a goddamn one-way plane ticket, and now I live in Hawaii. Like, I don't have, like, a lot of, like, strict, orderly, responsibility-based, like, shit. I'm drinking a beer right now. I'm the master of chaos, though. I believe that I'm the master of chaos. Everyone else likes to believe that they're the master of chaos, The problem is, you got too many people being chaotic, and, like, now I'm like, oh, whoa, holy shit, dude, we need some fucking order here. There's no goddamn order anywhere. Like, there's no order in software, there's no order in the government, there's no order in banking, there's no order in people's personal decisions, there's no order in the media. Everything is like, fucking just like, oh, anything goes. It's like, no, motherfuckers, that's my role. I do anything. I'm the free one because I'm responsible. I went to school for electrical fucking engineering, and I fucking learned a lot of shit. I learned how systems work, and I learned how to solve people's problems, and that's a very responsible thing to do because they pay me a lot of money. I can afford fucking aquariums like that, and there's a reason for it.
I'm surprised you didn't put the money into the car.
Dude, I have so much. I just put $2,000 in Bitcoin, man, and it's not even. I'm not like rolling in cash, but like I got enough cash that I'm fucking fine, dude. Like, and it keeps coming in. I'm never gonna have to be worried because I know I realize this now. Like, I can solve like basically any fucking problem. And like people that hear me, women in particular, actually women don't watch this podcast. By the way, I looked at the demographics of our views on these videos. 100% male. I don't think a woman has watched this podcast, so you say whatever you want about women.
The last podcast was the woman hating podcast. This podcast is the woman loving podcast.
There you go.
We actually had a.
Well, who was that? That said like all the wars would stop if every man had a woman to bang. Forgot who said that.
Oh, dude, I never heard that. That's awesome.
That might be true, like back.
Oh,
in
I know where I
caveman
heard it.
days.
Slide
These
of the
days,
Concord.
wars are fought for different reasons.
Sometimes I think wars are fought because they want to take over the women population of another country. Maybe there's too many men, so men gotta fucking fight and kill each other every once in a while. Like back in the old days when like they're getting kind of tired of like maybe all the women in their little tribe are getting too naggy and bitchy, so they gotta go fucking conquer some other tribe because they don't want to like. The thing is, there's the way that the feedback loop system works with women is that it's very unstable. Women are very unstable because they're not systematic. They don't like want to do the feedback thing. Like they just want more freedom, because they haven't been given the responsibility. Maybe nowadays in society we're giving them responsibility by saying, hey, fine, have a job. The thing is like these jobs that they're getting aren't real fucking jobs. They're not like real, like they're contributing to the economy. Dude, like,
Are you kidding
project
me?
management? Dude, like,
There's
dude,
tons of
listen,
jobs
Gus,
that are
dude, my
contributing to the
electrical
economy.
engineering degree
How can you
field
say
had
that?
about 10% female. 10% female. You want to tell me that
Okay.
women want to solve problems? Yeah, 10%.
That's
10%, Gus.
but-
That's not regardless of that. Dude,
but
computer
there's
science is like
plenty
10%
of jobs
also.
that are filled by women that are
If you
super
want,
important.
if you
like
want to
my
be
work.
valuable in society, you should probably be getting a computer science degree right now because we're in fucking the computer revolution. I don't know if you fucking noticed that, guys. This is the
Yeah.
computer fucking revolution, and yet you only have 10% of women getting computer science degrees. I would love more women to get computer science degrees. I would love to be able to talk to women about this stuff. But like there aren't any women that understand this stuff, and maybe we shouldn't force them to be. Maybe we should. I don't know, man. Like, I believe that I'm like kind of reverting back
I
to
honestly
traditionalism.
think it's better not to have them there because there's so few forums these days that are uninvaded by women, and we need to keep some male safe spaces. You know,
Lumberjack.
they have female safe spaces and black safe spaces and Spanish safe spaces. We need some male safe spaces, and computer science might be that safe space.
Well, listen, anyone watching this video, if you want to comment below, don't worry, there's not another woman in like a 100-mile radius, so you're fine to say whatever you want. Don't worry.
I was thinking you should post the video on some forums to get some more,
Feedback?
views.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Our podcasts aren't quality content enough yet. We're just practicing now.
This is kind of like a
We're
practice
working on our
podcast.
banter.
Yeah, you know, I'm just doing this for fun right now, honestly. I'm having a blast too, by the way. I hope our viewers are having a blast. They're probably not. They're probably like, fuck these guys. Fuck.
Please leave feedback. Subscribe.
I don't think I made the point while we were recording, but you gotta let a hoe be a hoe. I got a song for you right quick.
I thought that was the problem. Women aren't settling down.
You guys
I
talk
mean,
about
if
this let a hoe be a
you're-
hoe thing. I gotta go use the bathroom real quick.
There's an aquarium right behind you.
I'm gonna go in the aquarium, Gus.
Bust a sweet rhyme right now. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm sure you saw a lot of that when you were in college, John. Like
So
women,
what?
just women like being floozies, you know, like their mindset is not to like find the right one, Mr. Right. They just,
They were down for the one night stands. I'll tell you that.
yeah, and you know that's gonna affect them in the long term. Like in their mind, it's like they become good at that. So when they start to get into a long-term relationship, you know, like a new guy comes in their life, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, I can easily jump to this guy." You know, it's like, and don't think of the consequences. Like it can happen to others, and
Well,
so.
I'm sure many of them have a husband and children.
Well, that's good at least. I know your college was pretty conservative from what I remember. There's a lot of conservative values.
What
No,
is
it's
that?
not. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know most of them are pretty southern, so I figure they're
Who are you talking about?
the students at FG.
They're not conservative. They're all partying and shit.
Oh,
Ag school. Dude, Gus, remember Ross Cooper? Ross Cooper went to a Christian school.
Yeah.
To a Christian college.
yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
Didn't he marry his high school sweetheart? Too?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he did. Had kids and everything.
I remember I was having a conversation with him about this girl who I was having troubles with at the time, and like, you know, he gave me like these words of inspiration. He's like, oh yeah, you know, these things will happen, these little disagreements, but you know, deep down, you know that you'll be with her forever. And I was like, yeah, I will be with her forever, you know, like, dude, Ross is a fucking great guy. We should get Ross on the
Idealistic.
podcast. Ross, if you're out
Ross
there.
respects women too much to be on the podcast.
We should actually get David Lee on the podcast too. I'd like to pick his brain a little bit. I fucking love David Lee. Like I think he commented on my one Facebook status about saying how there was some biblical some Bible verse that said that women should not be teachers. They should be silent and listen.
Oh yeah.
He was like,
He was like, too.
Matt, I didn't know you were religious. I was like, I'm not a zealot. And then he was like, oh, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah, here's the link. So I probably watched it, but I'm going to ask him if he wants to be on. By the way, he got like a 1600 on the SAT, on the reading. He got a perfect score on reading and math.
That's cool.
But we also had...
Yeah, he was a smart guy.
Dude, he's a really smart guy, man. I fucking love it. He came over to my place one time up in Orlando when I was going to college. A couple of times, actually, I think. And we watched that movie, The Transcendent Man. Dude, we had to pause it every like 10 seconds because we were like, oh, dude. And we started like talking about shit. Like, yeah, the singularity, dude, this is what's going to happen. Like,
Ray Kurzweil.
Yeah. Whoever said beer before liquor gets sicker was a bitch.
Yo, people on Facebook share some weird ass shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting pretty diverse.
Dude, the thing is,
You know
Facebook.
Joey just shared a meme. He showed a meme that says, children eating 12 or more hot dogs per month have 9 times the normal risk of developing leukemia. Like, what the fuck? 12 hot dogs?
Have you seen the Whitest Kids You Know sketch about hot dogs?
Wow.
Oh my god, dude! I wish I could. It's hilarious. Well,
explain it.
Whitest Kids You Know is like they're a really hilarious comedy troupe. And they have this one. There's this kid on their comedy troupe named Timmy. He's kind of like the butt of a lot of jokes. He's kind of fat. He looks like a small child. But he's really funny, and he knows what he is, and he's able to play on it very, very well. It's glorious. But and actually, Whitest Kids You Know started as like a large group. They actually whittled it down to like 5 or 6 guys, the core guys that there are now. They actually started as a big like comedy group like in New York City, I believe, around September 11th actually, I believe. Anyway, so Timmy is in the doctor's office, and the doctor's like, so Timmy, can you tell me how many hot dogs you've eaten today? I don't know, like, and it's just like the whole thing is about like he's like always trying to like lowball him about how many hot dogs he ate, but then like the doctor's like, well, no, let's go through the day, let's actually see, you know, and he's like, well, I guess I had some extra hot dogs here and there. He's like, well, some extra hot dogs. Let's break this down. Tell me what a morning looks like for you. And then he's like, there's about, a couple hot dogs. And then, like, eventually, he's, like, talking about, like, 14 hot dogs, like, by, like, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
My dad...
he's sitting on the that little patient bed thing. It just, like, his gut is just, like, out, and he's, like, slouched over. It's hilarious, dude.
Oh, like
I
that.
would definitely eat like half a pack of hot dogs in one sitting. No problems.
When I was a kid, I used to eat them raw.
I
loved it, dude.
I think some of them are pre-cooked.
Right,
so.
I think they are pre-cooked.
But if let's not forget what they're made
Don't
out
eat
of.
blood sausage raw. Raw. Don't eat blood sausage raw.
Yeah.
It's strong. It's hard for me to eat blood sausage that's not cooked. Or cooked.
I don't know if I've ever had blood sausage.
It's really
pretty
bitter.
good.
Is it like
Pretty good.
It's like really black, right?
Yeah.
I've had I had this one pasta with it was like an octopus pasta with like the ink. They put the ink in the sauce.
Oh
Yeah,
my
dude,
gosh.
it's like when you're eating it, like your mouth just like turns black. I don't know.
That
It's a
sounds
fucking idea.
vile.
Yeah.
Sounds like some Japan shit.
No, it was Italian.
Isn't it ink?
It was at a really super authentic like Italian deli in I want to say West Palm Beach.
I think the ink is like a waste product. Like
Is a whiz product?
a waste product
waste
from
product.
the octopus.
Oh, it's like a decoy.
Defense mechanism.
Right, yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about opening a restaurant or like imaginarily making one?
I opened one before.
I have.
The People's Pizza.
Nice.
Yeah, I sold pizza in Pegasus Point for $5 pizza.
I think it's a good life. I mean, it's like you work hard. I mean,
You work very
don't
hard.
expect too much growth.
Dude,
You know,
it's
Jay
a
has an
huge
idea
commitment.
for a restaurant.
It's a tremendous commitment. The thing about opening a restaurant, first of all, you got to realize, well, I was in college, so it was kind of a big deal. But like my only hours of business were Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So I just opened 3 nights a week. And that means Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, I could not go to parties. I could not go on dates with women. I could not go to events that were happening. Dude, you literally have to. The moment that you are not open, you lose a customer. You maybe lose 2 customers, maybe 3 customers.
That's how
You
selling
cannot
weed
afford
was.
that.
I always just had to like chill at my house because I had to sell weed.
It's a huge commitment. I mean, dude, like these people that open restaurants, man, they're saints, dude. Like the business owners in our society. There's a reason we have a functioning society. You know, the communists that want
Yeah.
to like take that away, the communists that want to blame people who are capitalists, people that have like given away all their time. They said, no, we want to be worker bees. We want to be up here. We're gonna have this much free time.
The communists want to take the money from the capitalists.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible. It's
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like, you know, getting liposuction. You still got the fat cells there. You suck the fat out, but the cells are still there. It's gonna come right fucking back.
Let me tell you about this restaurant. Jay came up with this restaurant idea, and he's dead serious about it, and like he remembers it, and he brings it up like here and there. The restaurant's called I Want to Eat, and it serves chicken.
Dude, hell yeah. Dude, I Want to
Pretty
Eat is a sick
straightforward.
name for a restaurant.
He always asks me like when I'm gonna come work at his job, and I'm like, oh, what's your job? And he's like, oh, it's I Want to Eat. It's my restaurant. I'm like, damn, really? I want to eat.
Hell yeah.
I think he has a little bit of that entrepreneurial spirit in him.
Dude, nice.
good for him.
I'm gonna try to correct my camera thing here. Oh, you know what? It's starting to get a little bit darker outside. I think that's what's going on.
There's definitely a way I could do this with my SLR if I really wanted to.
Yeah, this is very, very cheaply produced. Like, if you look at my my reflection thing, I'm using this light that's shining on a roll of paper towels.
You're doing more for it than I am.
I don't know shit about fucking production, by the way, as you can tell.
I'm sure there's some YouTube videos.
Yeah, we could probably figure something out. It's actually kind of blinding me too, though. It's kind of annoying. Let's turn this light on, maybe. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna turn this fucking stupid thing off because that's. I need that on.
When I was in a school in Tampa, in elementary school, we used to have this thing once a month. I forgot what it's called, but anyways, it was a flea market. And what we did was kids would bring in their own stuff from home to sell it for tickets. And then the tickets would be used to buy other people's stuff. So you would get, I think we started with 10 tickets each or something like that. So we give the tickets for the item, and then we either traded it or I forgot how the economy works, but well, my point was, is like some kids got really good and they end up having like, well, with their parents' help, they had like massive like little counters filled with little things, and they were just running a business. And
That's awesome.
yeah, I think that's a great way to like learn this like entrepreneurship, and it's also like customer service too, like making a deal, like, hey, give you 2 tickets for this. How about 1 ticket? And it's like, oh, that's a fair deal. And then you get toys. Essentially, they were just trading toys with each other.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah, dude. Wait, we.
hey, John, you're in the PTA? Not yet, right?
What?
PTA?
ETA what?
Jay's school. He's not in school yet, is he?
He's going to school in August.
Okay. So maybe you could like push that idea or something.
When's Jay's birthday?
August 30th.
August 30th. Okay, so he's gonna be one of those early in the school year birthday kids.
Nah, because he's well, yeah. We actually held him back a year because Michelle wanted to, I guess.
Dude, I think people, like, not to get like what's a horoscopy or whatever, but like, having a birthday in the beginning of the school year, I think is a really good position for a kid, because like everyone's pissed off that they have to go back to school. They're like, fuck, my summer vacation is over, fuck. So everyone's like pissed off and miserable, and then finally it's someone's birthday party. It's like, okay, well, there's a birthday party I can go to. Then they get super stoked about like hanging out with friends and stuff at this birthday party. So, dude, that's I would say that's a really good time for a kid. I don't read into this stuff.
A bigger factor is like in high school, like when you turn 16 first before everyone else for like an entire year. You're the first person with a car.
Oh,
that means you're driving
dude.
everyone around. You're the coolest person ever.
Well, especially because he got held back after a year.
And then in when you're a senior,
You would have
you're
been
18 the whole year. You're essentially an adult in high school for an entire year.
How old is
Well, he
he?
would have been younger than
How
everybody.
much freedom you have.
He would have been younger than everybody, but we held him back so then he could be older than everybody.
Oh, okay, yeah. There was
It'll make a difference.
I can't remember. I remember. Do you remember?
More mature.
Remember the Henges, right? Amanda Henges and Emily Henges. I
Yeah.
can't remember which one. I think it was Amanda Henges. That was born like right on the thing. Isn't that like that's like right on the bubble, right? Around like August.
Right on.
Yeah. Okay. So like if you're born for this date or after this date, like you could make him like the oldest kid in the class or the youngest kid in the class. So you have that decision,
That's right. So I think like
Which one do you think is
even
better?
1 year. Oh, being older because you're more mature. Kids are going to look to you for as a role model because
And you
you're
got the
more
car
mature.
first.
You got the car. You get all the rights, 18-year-old rights when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Like, remember Kim
Classic
Stewart?
cigarettes for everybody.
She had an early
Max.
birthday. She had an early birthday, and man, she had a car before everyone else, and
Who had?
I was good friends with her at the time.
Do you know anyone who had
Who's
like
that?
who was like a young for their age?
Me.
You were young?
I was the youngest kid in every class.
Really?
Always.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit.
And I think it affected me a lot, like, because everyone else was like more mature than I
Yes,
was. So
your age doesn't matter. What matters is your swag.
well, you'd be surprised how much it makes a difference. But look at me now. I mean, I'm
Look at me
more
now.
mature.
Look
More
at
mature.
me now.
ways.
Josh, when is your
Yeah,
birthday?
yeah.
When's your birthday?
I'm getting taken.
June.
Oh, okay. So
So
okay, that's why
yeah.
it's the latest because you got yeah. What
exactly.
about Ross Cooper? Ross
So,
Cooper's birthday is in
you
June
know-
also. Is Ross Cooper? Did they hold? I guess yeah. Ross Cooper was really young. And the grades of the classes. Because I remember his birthday.
I don't know.
Because I was celebrating a half birthday. Because like it sucks having your birthday on December 29th because everyone's on fucking Christmas vacation, or being with family and stuff. So I had a half birthday a couple times, and it was like right next to Ross Cooper's birthday. Ross Cooper's birthday, I believe, is June 28th, because his party was like the day before my party. It's hilarious. We had a
You can't even get in.
huh?
I don't see how you can hate from outside the club. You can't even get in.
Wait, what?
Ross Cooper's birthday was really early.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think that the classes should be separated by age anyway. I think age is a stupid. I mean, it's not stupid,
Well-
but it's just not a. This day and age, like we have different ways of measuring progress for a child, especially with computers. With computers, we can fucking really get in detail about how much someone knows. Salmon.
So are you saying like put everyone with the June birthday in one class and?
No, he's saying put the grades based on skill level.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Like having a prodigy get put in 10th grade at like 10 years
Mental
old.
weight
Listen.
classes.
I'm saying do away with 10th grade. What is 10th grade? What the fuck is that? Fuck that.
Well, it shows level of
Listen.
comprehension.
Dude, Salman Khan is like probably the greatest educational visionary in the entire history. I would say Salman Khan, the guy who created the Khan Academy, and dude, I fucking love that dude. Bill Gates loves him too. Bill Gates endorsed the fuck out of him. Like he just has a 501(c), which I think is unfortunate. I mean, you know, a lot of people that create these charitable organizations, they end up like raking in profits, like Hillary Clinton. But he's an honest guy. He's just like a really down to earth, honest guy, and he's playing the rules of the the real game of the 501(c) fucking of the game. And it's not really going anywhere. But he is the most visionary educator that I think this planet has ever seen.
Yeah.
If I was president, he would be my czar of education.
Department of Education.
Whatever they fucking call it. Yeah. He would be the head of education. So here's.
I mean, the grades serve a purpose. I mean,
listen. Here's one of his.
In this context, I
here's one of his
understand
awesome
it can
ideas.
be better.
So he's got many awesome ideas. First of all, the first idea is the flipping of the classroom. I'll just briefly go over the flipping of the classroom. It's perfect. It is literally perfect. It is basically no more lectures in classes. No more lectures. You learn the material in a video. The video is recorded. They get the perfect video to teach students the material, and then you watch that for homework. It's less daunting for a student to go home and just have to watch a video, and it's visually like they can pause it, rewind it if they didn't catch something. You can't do that in class, Number 3,
Sure.
It's bullshit to for a teacher to stand up there, act like a god, trying to do this one size fits all lecture for everyone. It totally doesn't fucking make sense. And number 4, we don't have any group work. We don't have group work.
No, about
Listen,
that.
Gus, hold your damn horses. We don't have any group work in our schools. The first time I had group work was in senior design. That was a disaster. My first real group work assignment, And the world, the business world, is all group work. Unless you're a fucking some asshole like me that's trying to create his own business without having anybody in it because he doesn't want to dilute his shares, you're gonna have other people that you're working with, and you have to understand the dynamics and how to work with other people. That should be done in class, and the teachers should be very, very skilled at understanding group dynamics and understanding how to get certain people's roles to fit in with other people's roles, and teaching how to cooperate with each other to achieve a goal. And then the homework should just be videos. You shouldn't have to fucking do math problems, times tables. What the fuck is that, dude? That's the stupidest shit ever. Do it in the classroom where the teacher, you can actually raise your hand and call the teacher and be like, oh, no, you got to carry the 2. It's like carrying the 1, but you got to carry the 2 now. Or you got to, when you multiply by a negative number, that just makes this number negative now, too.
Yeah.
Or
But that's
whatever.
a human level.
Because these people...
A human aspect to the learning.
And so then...
That's the thing.
That goes to the second part.
The human feedback that,
Yes.
It's much different than what you get in a video. I was going to mention also, I took a course online, a math course. All it was just this computer program where it just gives you a bunch of questions. You do it over and over again until you get it right, and then it moves on. It's pretty good, and the lessons are
that was pretty much invented by the Khan Academy. The Khan Academy was the first one, the first software that did exactly that. And that's their second premise, is the Swiss cheese knowledge argument. The Swiss cheese knowledge argument is that basically with grades, if you get a C, you pass. You go to the next grade. Well, let's say that you didn't understand negative exponents or whatever. You didn't understand multiplying by 0 or whatever. Or dividing by negative, whatever the weird scenario is. You didn't get that. That's what you failed on the test.
Right.
The thing is
math
like, you
concept
know,
you
the
did.
next, you know, stage in math might require you to know about that. And if you don't know about that, then you're going to be at a deficit. And now, like, you get this thing is called like Swiss cheese knowledge. You get like these little holes in your knowledge that start growing because you don't have anything to fucking, you know, place on there. It's just like anything else that you might have learned falls through that hole. And then you don't have that now. Now you have bigger holes. Now the holes, they just grow, you know? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
That software won't let you progress if you can't
You should not progress.
learn it.
You should not progress until you have mastered something. You should.
So the only way for me to pass it is to understand all the aspects of the subject.
Yes. Why should you progress?
It was so hard, but I got it.
Why should you progress otherwise? Why? If you haven't mastered it, why should you progress?
Exactly.
You should progress at your own
Making
pace.
school harder.
You should progress at your own
But
pace.
what about the student loans that go with it?
Not every person needs to know calculus. You know, like
Right,
calculus is really cool, but calculus is very theoretical. I feel like calculus is almost like more like mathematical art than it is like, you know, the people who design like airplane wings or whatever, you know, they better know calculus, or, you know, certain people in very, very professional, mathematically intense careers should definitely know, you know, calculus. Ideally, you know, differential equations and linear algebra and all this other, you know, very complicated stuff. It's very valuable to know all that, but it's kind of almost like how to think rather than it is like what to think, you know? Because, like, you know, what a derivative it is and what an integral is, and how an integral, you actually have like an integral between this point and that point, but a derivative doesn't need this point and that point. A derivative is like, you know, a point in time that is like taking the rate of change, and then it compresses that, you know, x-axis down into fucking 0, and you only have a single point, and you have an instantaneous rate of change, versus an integral, which is only measurable from a beginning and an end. So that you get these concepts now. You start getting these concepts that are like, okay, well, an integral needs two points in time. An integral needs 2 points in time, but a derivative only needs 1 point in time. You cannot have 2 points in time. You know, like,
I think those higher math classes are great for people who need a tool set, essentially. It's like, I know all these equations, so when I'm presented with the problem, which one of these equations and out of my tool bag do I need to solve this problem? So being able to have all that knowledge is super important. But what jobs need that? Very few, like programmer.
It's not like how to think, though, you know?
Accountant.
How about real street knowledge?
I mean,
The thing is, like doing like the doing like the actual like math problems, like, oh, take the integral of sine. No, take the integral of 1 over sine of x dx. It's like, okay, you know, like I could see it, you know, it's like a puzzle. You're making kids solve puzzles now, but like you're not really giving them anything new. Like, I mean, you're really not. Like, I mean, because computers solve all that shit, you know? If someone's writing a program that needs to know how to take the integral of 1 over sine of x, then yeah, they need to like learn about all that complex shit. But from an ideological perspective, you kind of just need to know what the integral is, and you kind of need to know what the derivative is. You kind of need to know.
Are you giving too much faith in people to be able to apply that mathematical knowledge in the way they think?
Well, some of these mathematical patterns are abstractions of reality. They're just abstractions of, like, you know, like.
But do you think most people are able to comprehend that?
Well, that's why, you know, like, you see like FCAT and a lot of these fucking aptitude tests like focus on word problems. Well, the word problems start talking about, like, okay, Joe drove his car 50 miles per hour for, you know, half an hour. How far did he drive? You know, so then you're like, you know, okay, well, that's an integral problem. I say, you know, from point A to point, you know, remember, the integral has 2 points. You have the starting point and the end point.
Yeah,
you know, so you got to understand that. You got to understand what, you know, what the curve is that you're talking about. Okay, it's a constant curve of 50 miles per hour, so that's just a constant curve. Now I need to take the area under the curve, so I multiply, you know, between 0 and 30 minutes. Well, that's 30 minutes. 30 minutes have passed, multiplied by 50 miles per hour. And then you get, you know, the result, which is like 25 miles. You know, it's like half of that.
So I guess people should be able to apply this in their lives.
Well, you know, if you're
I think that's where you were going with this. I think that's your point.
it's about
Do not
how
know
to
the way.
think, not what to think.
Do not know the way.
It's about how to think. It's all about how to think. How to systemize
Right,
You're not
things.
telling them what to think. You're telling them how to think.
Well, the thing is, like, you know, we
No,
have
do
very
you think you
complex
should
systems.
implement
You
that
gotta
class
be able to break things
in
down.
public school that teach you
Here's
how
what
to
I'm
think?
saying. Well, hold on, let me get a word in here. Indoctrination tells you what to think. Education teaches you how to think.
I like it. I like it.
I like that. Yeah.
And Gus, I like what you said about the tool set. It is a tool set. You're right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's a tool set. That's all it is.
But how many jobs need that? Like, not that many.
Well,
Lots of them do. You're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about engineering.
what about voting, Gus? Like, what about, like, you know, looking at maybe trying to extrapolate some sort of trend? I mean, we're talking about abstract patterns. Abstract patterns exist in everything. You know, that's why math, you know, Euclidean space does not exist in the universe. It existed.
I guess I'm giving too much faith in people's ability to think this way. It's like,
Well-
oh yeah, everyone is able to do that.
Well,
Are
one of
they?
the big challenges is, you know, is the apathy, the academic apathy, you know, in popular culture.
Well, I think it's that they don't have a need. Like, as soon as they have a demand to have this knowledge, they would seek it more. You know, they risk losing something. How about that?
They don't have a
loss
demand
aversion.
when you when
Loss
you're
aversion
getting
to learn
welfare.
calculus. Tell me, Matt, what's a loss aversion to learn calculus?
I will fucking shoot you in the head if you don't. Yeah.
If you don't learn calculus.
Alright, change the subject. Let's talk about white privilege and why it's bad.
White privilege doesn't exist.
White privilege is being rich.
I don't. Yeah,
That's just
I
being
have
well-to-do.
difficulty wrapping my head around the idea of white privilege, man. I really do.
It's doublespeak.
Yeah, yeah, it is, dude. It is doublespeak.
Because really, if you're just a white guy starting from the bottom, you have the least privileges.
Yeah, yeah, because then not only do you not get the not get money, you also don't get the affirmative action bias.
You don't get scholarships.
Yeah, you're really fucked.
And
I'm
privilege.
kind of seeing that now because
No
all
one's
these
giving
jobs I'm applying
anything.
for, it's
all
like
earned.
we'd rather hire women and Spanish people than you. Like the job I went to interview for, the guy interviewing for me was Spanish, and his little assistant was Spanish too. So I'm just thinking like maybe they only hire Spanish people, you know?
Dude, people prefer people who look like them when they look in
like
the mirror.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look at us, bro. We got 3 white dudes here. Got a little bit of in-group
You're just a little
preferences.
ethnic though. You're just
I'm
a little
borderline.
ethnic.
Yeah, got a little bit of ethnicity in you.
Yeah. This is
Yes.
mostly all like Iberian.
I honestly
Start
don't care.
talking Spanish. Start talking Spanish. Go to the club and be like, "Bailar." At my work, everybody.
Girls love
everybody
exotics.
else is a bro.
Uh,
Ven
They're
conmigo
all Spanish.
to la playa. Woo!
At McDonald's, everybody is like Spanish, and they always call everybody a cabron all the time.
I think that's an insult, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me look it up real quick.
What is it?
It means gay or
Uh-huh.
something.
What is it? What is
Like
this?
fag.
I asked someone, some Spanish person, how to say, "Where's the bathroom?" one time. They said, "Vete, poner tu huevos en tu culo." I say that every time. Try to ask someone where the bathroom is. I'm like, "Poner tu huevos en tu culo." ¿Qué? ¿Qué?
Oh yeah. I guess cabron means dumbass, so everybody at my work calls everybody else a dumbass all the time.
What is it,
Jeez.
cabron?
I'm like, "Ah, cabron.
Oh, cabron. Yeah, there's a Red Hot Chili Pepper song called Cabron.
It means dumbass.
Yeah. I thought it meant asshole.
What's a Spanish word?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one-to-one.
Dumbass, asshole.
Dumb asshole.
Dumb hole.
Cabron, cabron. You guys know that song, right?
Maybe.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, you haven't? It's pretty. Wait, which one of you was telling me that you listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers like all the time at some job? Gus, wasn't that you?
Me. That was me.
You don't know
yeah.
the Cabron song?
I probably
You
recognize
probably
it
heard it.
if I heard it.
Here, I'm gonna fucking put it on right now, just for everyone to hear.
Let me turn off my music then.
Yeah, turn off your music.
You listen to SpongeBob over there?
I don't know if this is gonna
I
come
was
up on.
listening to SpongeBob.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna come up on the podcast.
It was a SpongeBob Craft remix.
It should come up. You guys hear it? You guys fucking.
No, I can't hear it.
Movie today called
fuck.
Ready Player One
Called what?
by Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Wait, I can't remember if I saw it or if I didn't see it.
You guys hear the sound now?
What? What am I looking at?
What'd you do?
What's going on here, dude?
Oh, this is an old podcast.
Wait, dude, Gus.
If I could do it all
John,
over
this
again,
was terrible. What's going on here, dude?
I'll stop sharing.
Alright, thanks. Oh, you were
Oh,
sharing.
God.
That's what was happening. So how does this work anyway? So Skype, Gus, you were telling us that. So you're hosting this on your computer now. I think.
It hosts certain aspects of it.
No, I can see. I have a
Like-
little bit of a delay in the way that my mouth moves. My mouth is moving like after I've already said something. I'm saying something right now, and it's like taking a little bit of a second. Of course, we're on the same island, but there
Right.
still might be some latency.
But the connection goes out to the Skype servers and comes back.
Well, I'm going through
So-
wireless. But no, hold on. If it goes to the Skype server, then why does I don't understand that. Does it actually get hosted by someone's computer? I thought that I would have guessed.
Oh, it's reading.
That-
An aspect of the Skype call is hosted by the person who initiates the call.
Really? I would have thought that
yeah.
Skype was basically hosted by their servers. I would assume that it doesn't matter who starts the call, it all gets hosted by their servers, and their server does the interchange. But you're saying that the person who instigates the call.
Conference bridge. So the person who instigates the call becomes a conference bridge.
Wow.
It receives all incoming audio streams, mixes them together, and then sends the results combined stream back to all the participants.
That's interesting, man. Hell, dude, I like it, man. We'll see how it comes out. I definitely see a little bit of a delay in my voice, but that's no big deal. We'll see how the video comes out, and whatever.
Welcome, Bronze here.
You should have your videos down here too. I mean, my words are slowed down as well.
I guess what that means is that the way that this screen is rendered is this screen is actually rendered on your computer, I guess, or something like that.
Yes.
And then it's transmitted to my computer.
Or to the
So if I change the
Skype
screen, is it
server.
actually changing it on your computer?
it doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
My screen probably looks different from your screen.
Huh?
My screen looks different from your screen.
Well, yeah.
I can put one of you on the left and one of you on the
Right.
right, and I can rearrange.
Right,
it.
but when you do that, does that change something on your computer, or does that change something on Gus's computer?
I got emojis and stuff.
How did you fucking
I think
do
it's
that?
just your computer.
The little smiley face.
Hold on. I put a heart. Oh wait, I only have hearts.
There's not any good ones though. They're all crappy.
It's pretty fucking lame.
And
Who would fucking do if you have a video? The slow clap is pretty good. That one's.
where's my poop emoji?
Dude, you see the slow clap one?
I don't have that
You don't
one.
have slow clap?
Oh, I got
Oh,
it.
bro, I'm gonna be using fucking slow clap all the time now.
If you want to make our radio show good, we gotta have music and sound effects and Oh shit!
Yeah, dude, we gotta have a fucking soundboard.
soundboard.
Dude, I downloaded a soundboard. I can't fucking play any of them, I guess, apparently. But it's mostly like Arnold Schwarzenegger saying silly shit. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I've seen somewhere it just turns your keyboard. You can assign each of the keys a specific sound.
The problem is it doesn't go, it doesn't play
speaking
on
of,
your guys' screen. You guys gotta hear it.
Speaking of,
Maybe we need a new
shit,
video conference software.
You guys ever seen Rambo 3?
Rambo 3?
Yeah.
I think I have years ago, but I barely remember.
What's cool about the old movies? Well, these days they would just go ahead and computerize everything. But back on Rambo, all the shit that's going on, they really filmed. They really had a helicopter flying. They really had pyrotechnics. They really had Sylvester Stallone running through this big-ass battlefield. And, like, shit was a lot more real, you know? It wasn't all loose. It was like
Right.
Star Wars episodes.
Right, yeah.
So, a lot of actually, episode 7, 8, and Rogue One had like realistic effects because they wanted to bring that.
But
old
it wasn't
classic
like
feel.
on Rambo where all that shit was.
Yeah.
There was
They made it
still
just
special effects.
really good, but not.
Very computerized.
But movies with like low budget, I think that's great too. Like modern day low budget films that do that.
Are there any good ones?
Uh, What?
Napoleon Dynamite's pretty low budget, right?
Yeah. I don't know how much special effects it had in it though.
Not many. Probably
Someone had
none.
to sew his space boots.
Oh yeah, but that's a practical effect.
I suppose.
It's a
yeah.
wardrobe thing, really.
Yeah. But you ever consider getting into film, John?
Yeah.
You ever heard
But,
about
I mean,
Full Sail?
it's hard to get into that because, like, you gotta know a bunch of people and, like, if I had started with it, like, in high school, it'd be a lot easier. Or if I, like, went to college for it.
I mean, you probably just join big teams that do that sort of stuff, like giant film industries, and then you'll just be crew member 4. You're in charge of the set number 20 of Star Wars or something, you know?
I'm thinking about making a music video and, like, a song that I'm gonna produce all by myself, though.
Where are my dogs at?
It's gonna be called, it's gonna be all about, like, all those old video games I have. It's gonna be called OG Gamer. I'm gonna have a double
Yeah, that's a
back
good one.
with Nintendo games, and it's gonna be like, oh, you got this shit, and then I open up the duffel bag, and, like, I'm dumping out, like, 100 copies of Mario, and, like, I'm smoking the blunt, and I ash the fucking blunt on, like, a NES or some shit.
Wow. And the bag's like much more than the games that are coming out, so it's like...
Like, I'll be, like, smoking weed and, like, shooting shit with the Nintendo Zapper.
What the fuck did I miss?
Get like a green screen going, and then like put the games in the background, and then like make yourself like running and.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I'm like Mario running through that shit.
Talking about some serious production shit right there, man.
It honestly, a lot of the software does most of the work for us today. So, like, as long as you
Yeah.
have
You're welcome.
the software, program developers, making everyone else's life easier. Yes,
I don't know, yeah.
very easy.
Yeah, but yeah,
And then we pay them marginally,
yeah. Just keep.
and then the Chinese steal your program ideas and then replicate it for much cheaper. That's gonna be the. No, I won't say your website name.
I was actually watching more concerning than the Chinese. I was watching a documentary about.
God, no.
John, fucking stop sharing the screen. I was watching a documentary on patent trolls, man. That shit is fucking, dude.
Horrible.
Oh my god. We should
We're like
disband.
Stone Age because of
We
that.
need to disband the USPTO. Just fucking disband it, dude. Fucking disband it. It doesn't fucking help anyone. The USPTO, US Patent Office, does not help anybody. It doesn't.
It doesn't help most people.
Well,
It just helps people who own
it's
the patents.
intended to be a shield
money.
for like the little guy against like the big corporation who's able to have more resources to be able to create more things.
Yeah.
But the problem is that the big corporations are the ones that get all the fucking patents and they hire all the attorneys and then you actually get these patent trolls that just they acquire a bunch of patents by whatever reason necessary and then they just start suing people. They're not even building the product. So it's like it's stifling innovation. It is 100% stifling innovation. I'm actually a little bit concerned about some of the entrepreneurial things that I'm angling at right now. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm gonna get fucking attacked by patent trolls. And at the moment, the only way to retaliate against these patent trolls is to either settle in court or settle outside of court, or pay about, I think it's like multiple millions of dollars. It's like $2 million to fight one of these things. It costs $2 million. So at the end of the day, settlement's only $340,000, or you can spend $2 million to prove a point.
You have to do it pro bono.
Thing is,
knowing
man,
that you're gonna win.
if somebody went and killed these patent trolls, you'd be doing society justice. You'd be helping the world. If you went out and you killed these, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying if you did go out and kill these patent trolls, you would be helping the world. I'm just saying. That's all I'm fucking saying. You would be helping. Because these people
What's this video that I saw?
Listen.
So the guy, this video I saw is super funny. This guy like does this video of things you shouldn't say that are illegal to say in the U.S.
Right.
And he says it. Was it you, the one who showed me this video?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. So he says some
Wait, is
things.
this the whitest
but
kids
it's
you know?
really
This is the
illegal.
whitest kids you know
What?
bit.
Is
I
it?
think so. Yeah. He says
Oh,
you're
it's
not
so
supposed
funny.
to say we're going to kill the president at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night at this location.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Super illegal to say.
Super.
But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that's what you cannot say. Not say that you should. No, it's
That's
now you
like,
should
let me-
trigger the NSA trackers,
Let me
Matt.
I'm not retracting
You
this
just
because
trigger the
because the
NSA
legality
trackers.
of it. I don't know that the problem is. I don't think the problem would be resolved by killing those people. It actually would not be resolved. The problem is in the legislation.
Yeah,
If somebody
makes
is
sense.
if somebody's breaking a law, then they're breaking the law. They should come under the full force of the legal system. But if somebody found a loophole in the law, and they're taking advantage of the loophole in the law, why do you, could you really
Bad for a lot of people.
hold them accountable? No, they're not breaking the law. Why don't you make the law correct? If you make the law correct, then you could use real system, not vigilante justice. Like I'm saying, I'm not standing up for vigilante justice when it comes to taking matters in your own hand about these patent troll cocksuckers. But they're just playing the game, dude. Hate them or love them, dude. They're playing the rules that were dealt to them,
Until the rule changes.
Well, that's why we need to change the rules, dude. We need to fucking disband the
of course.
USPTO. Just fucking disband it, dude. There's no purpose. There's no fucking
Like
purpose.
everything's open source. Is that what it is?
Open source, you said? You still have trade secrets. You don't need a USPTO for trade secrets.
Yeah, but as soon as you build your product, it's like anyone can backwards engineer it or
Not
reverse engineer
necessarily.
it. And,
You can obfuscate it.
like I think a lot of the modern console games do that.
Obfuscation?
Right, like PlayStation has these chips that prevent anyone from like changing their firmware.
Well, yeah, it's very similar to a lot of things. There's like there's a lot of JavaScript packages that like when you minify a JavaScript file, you change all the variable names to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to like A, B, A, C, A, D, and it just changes all the variable names. So you can't read what any of the variable names are. You fucking compress it so everything's on one gigantic line. You take out all the white space so there's no white space. That's
Oh,
what minification is. So when you minify a JavaScript file, dude, if you try to read one of those, it's like, okay, you found, okay, yeah, it threw an error at line 1, column 40,553. So normally when you find a bug, like it throws an error at like line 927. You can see where line 927, there's one single instruction. You see exactly what's going on. You see all the context around it. You're able to be like, oh, okay, well, the user put in a number when they should have put in a date. You know, so that's easy. Just make so that the input box has to be a date or whatever, you know. But when it's all like on one line, and you don't have any context,
It's hard to read it.
It's almost impossible. And
So is that why? One of the reasons why they have JavaScript?
No.
Be able
You
to
can obfuscate
confuse
anything.
the code.
As a matter of fact,
Okay.
.NET has obfuscating abilities as well. You know, but the thing is when you actually have with .NET you have multiple layers. You have the application level or you have the high level programming layer. You have C#, C++, and C, and VB.NET, Visual Basic. So you have a couple different languages, right? These are the high level languages. These are the languages that you and I would program in. We would write code in one of these high level languages. They're called high level. They're not as high level as like some other languages you might call whatever. Just forget all that. Forget I said any of that. So you get like just imagine the .NET languages are C#, C++, and VB.NET. So all those languages compile into this common language. It's called CLR, Common Language Runtime. And what that is, that's actually just what they call bytecodes, which actually JavaScript, or actually not JavaScript, Java does the same thing. When you compile Java into Java bytecode or something like that, Java bytes or whatever. Basically, it's assembly language. So assembly language, normally when a computer gets assembly language, that's like the lowest level computer language. Basically, when you say something like add register A to register B and then output into register C, it's like the lowest level, like the simplest atomic operation that a CPU can do. Like the CPU and the ALU, the ALU is inside the CPU. And the ALU is the arithmetic logic unit. And the CPU has the ALU in it. The CPU also has some other things in it, like the program counter. The program counter says the exact instruction that's being currently executed. So, I lost you guys.
What?
What the hell is going on your screen? Anyway. I don't want to get like too...
Oh, it says you don't have enough. It said you don't have enough computer processing power, Gus.
Whoa.
It said the person hosting needs enough computer processing power. How about that?
How about them apples?
I don't know how, because I have a badass computer.
Oh, you do, huh?
So, yeah,
I
do.
Gus, share your screen.
How many-
Show us your task manager right now. Show us your task manager.
Okay.
Put your money where your mouth is.
How many tabs you got?
No.
Well, I'm running a virtual machine, and I'm
Are you inside a virtual machine right
no, I'm not.
now? I
have other.
Do you have any like qualms, any scruples about showing us your screen right now? Is there any like things that you don't want anyone to see?
Is there porn up there?
No. Everything's
Be careful,
fine.
because this shit's going live, bruh.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it.
No, share screen, bro.
I want to see
I
it.
had to X out of the full tab earlier.
I want to get access into that mainframe, bro.
How do I share screens?
It's on the little
You go down to the little
green
button
dot
and
menu. Don't worry
more
about it.
options and share screen.
Oh, I see it. Okay, let me bring up my.
I just want to see your task manager. I want to see how many CPUs you really have.
Show us that good shit.
Because I got 16, bruh. I think I got
Okay.
16. It's not. This is a $1,200 laptop. It's crashed on me multiple times. I would not recommend getting an Asus. It's $1,200 for 16 gigs of RAM and has a terabyte drive on it, which is nice. A terabyte disk drive, and at 200. No, actually 500. How many fucking? I've got a solid state drive. I do have a solid state drive. I think it's 250 gigs though.
It's almost a 1 over here.
Oh no! Don't read that.
Don't worry, I'm covering the screen with my.
Oh, I
stick.
missed it. I missed the part.
I sent some tax information to you by accident.
Tax. Did you file your taxes? I just filed mine yesterday. That was a pain in the ass.
Because I bought a house, like there's
Yeah.
a ton of documents.
Did you have to file
I'm
big
supposed
boy
to do.
taxes like me? Dude, I had to
Yeah.
file some big boy taxes yesterday, bro. I fucking I did a 1040, not the EZ. You can't do EZ anymore, dude. Remember the 1040 EZ?
Yeah.
I can't file that shit anymore. My shit's way too complicated. I had to file like 7 forms. Plus, I had to pay my franchise tax in Delaware. I did a bunch of shit though, man. You showing us your screen? How many logical processors you got? Right click that CPU screen.
12.
Right click it. No, just right click the graph. Right click it. Say change graph to logical processors. How many is that? 16? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. Dude, you only got
176 processors.
12 processors? How many processors do I have actually? I don't even know.
You probably have 8
Let me see.
if you have 16.
Don't tell me how many processors my computer has, Gus. Never tell another man how many processors. Oh no, I've got 8.
Oh,
I got 8. How many you have? You had 12. You have 12.
yeah.
Okay.
This is Intel Extreme.
Is this your? This isn't your virtual machine. This is your actual host machine,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
What's machine?
What's machine?
X8.
X8
9800.
9800
Or 98.
or 98
980.
980. Yeah. It was the first gen Extreme core.
Mine's
It was like
i7.
$1,200 when it came
Oh,
out.
really?
I got it.
Mine's
I got it for $200.
i7-4700 HQ CPU at 2.4 gigahertz. Oh, Dan, you got more gigahertz than me too.
It
Wait.
overclocks
It overclocks to 3.5.
Oh, you overclock.
And I can overclock.
But you're
it
on a
if I want.
desktop though too, right?
I am.
I am. That's
Right,
why.
right. I can't do this on my computer. My memory, dude, holy shit. Go to your memory real quick. Yo, you got 24 gigs? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 16. I'm at 14 out of 16 right now. Yeah, your computer is more beefy than mine, Gus. It's definitely more beefy. It's also a desktop.
It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
What?
What'd you say?
What'd you say?
I said it's more beefy, dude. You know, what are you trying to say, man? We're trying to
I'm not trying to downplay.
Is it like a CPU measuring contest here? Are we
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's is bigger.
You got that, Gus?
It's like 1 over here. I might have to sign off pretty soon.
I was hoping that we could go. Yeah, what time is it over there right now?
One more subject.
One more
AM.
subject.
One?
One more subject?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
How about that movie I saw today, where it predicts the
future
future turning into like this virtual reality world,
where
where everyone's like
just
stuck on their VR machines and living in filth and
I don't know.
degradation.
I don't know, but
degradation.
John, I like your Skype fucking avatar there.
Kinda.
kind of.
Are you still there, John?
Are you still there, John?
I don't know. I think we should conclude it at this point, man. I think it's been going for over 2 hours. I think.
My bad.
We're at
Well,
two.
that's-
We're at
that's
2 hours. I
part-
think 2 hours is good, man. We're gonna start losing people. Not to say that I don't think we should do. I think we should.
Don't say that.
I think we
Don't
should.
jinx
No.
us.
I think we should try to do like a 4-hour podcast one of these days. We gotta one up Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has like fucking 3-hour podcasts, man. We gotta.
Yeah, but his content's super good.
We're riding in his coattails right now a little bit, but at the same time, man, like that doesn't mean we can't become the next big thing.
Well,
The thing about him is he gets a lot of
guests,
different guests,
so-
and so
Well, we can
Yeah,
get a lot. Of
yeah,
he
guests.
has tons of subjects.
We can get more guests. I got my buddy over here, the Bitcoin guy, and like I got a lot of interesting people we should interview.
I got Joey.
Fuck Joey. I like Joey on the surface, but he's got some ideas that are.
We can get his little brother on.
He's all right too. Let me get the guests. I'll take care of the guests.
Okay.
But meanwhile,
I'll shoot some invites
We
myself.
can get my sister on.
dude, that would be interesting.
Your sister's pretty
Dude,
cool.
that'd be really interesting. Look at my sister too. Your sister and my sister will have a sister
Yeah.
podcast.
Right?
And Gus, I wouldn't mind having your brother on too, man. Your brother's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's smarter than me, so
That
that
tells you
He
tells you
definitely
anything.
thinks he's smarter than you. Well, he thinks he's
I-
smarter than
I think
everybody.
he is.
Anyway, John, we'll see you later. We'll let you get to sleep. I know it's getting late over there. You gotta work probably tomorrow.
I don't gotta work tomorrow.
No? Okay. Gus.
Just means you gotta like do shit around the house. Nothing too important tomorrow.
Gus, you do anything tonight?
I have no plans at the
Let's go to
moment.
McGillicuddy's.
Let me go to the burnouts.
There's a bar over here in Hawaii called McGillicuddy's. It's the latest open bar. It's like a club, a lot of dancing, a lot of wild shit.
It's some nights
they have different music playing.
Like
One night was like
90s music.
90s music.
I've only been there
It's
one
pretty
time,
cool.
Gus. We gotta go there. You wanna go there?
You guys go to McGillicuddy?
I'm fucking bored. I've been sleeping. I took a nap like all day, so I'm ready to go, dude.
Charged.
You're ready to roll.
I don't know.
I'll
see.
I'll see.
Come over here, Gus.
Gus,
Come over here.
I
Come
want
to
to
my
bring back
place.
the old Gus, the bad Gus.
Gus, come to my place.
No.
Gus has always
been bad.
Gus, come to my
Bad.
place right now. Gus, you coming over?
I'm
Listen,
gonna grab some dinner first.
you guys can. Yes, I want you to go over there. I want you guys to bring a little GoPro or something and record your adventures and upload the video tomorrow. Or live stream from your phone.
Gus, just come over here and get some food, whatever you gotta do. But then come over to my place, and then we'll get an Uber down to McGillicuddy's or wherever we go. Waikiki, I don't know.
You got a harem of chicks and live stream like the whole event.
Especially the part where they take off.
I gotta
all
look
their
up this word
clothes.
harem now. Like,
It
It just means like a group of women.
is it kind of like
under a king.
how you spell harem?
HAREM.
HARUM.
It's
It's the ideal place most men want to be.
Domestic space that are reserved for women in a house, Muslim family. A harem. I was thinking about what the hell is the word for it? Concubines.
That's what
Yeah,
it
essentially
means.
what
Okay,
it
okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. let's conclude this.
It's funny they say Muslim when really in the past it was also Jewish people, but I guess Jewish people want to like get rid of that.
Well, I'm gonna stop the recording because I think
These Google hold on. Hold the fuck on.
Alright.
These Google definitions are so skewed. Get an old school dictionary and all these definitions will be different than the ones you just looked at. I'm gonna for my last
Right.
point, I'm gonna recommend everyone gets an old school dictionary to look up words because these fucking Google definitions are way too politically correct and not truth.
turning us into goys. Good goys.
Yep. Good goys.
I don't know what that is.